Imagine being the person that goes to a call out at 3 a.m. in the morning and they're expecting you to fix it and you don't know what you're doing. So, this is where I speak about plumbing horror stories and shit which can go wrong. Because on the job, it can happen to any of us. And what I've learned in my 20 years of experience is actually having some type of plan and actually having just my plumbing brain on when I go to do jobs, because I used to go through the same things as everybody else. I used to wonder, what the hell is this? What's the problem? When they call me, oh, I've got a leak somewhere, it's bursted. I've never been to the property before. I have to find out where I've got to switch the water off. And if the tenants, the owners, or the landlord is not there, you're buggered. You just got to think off of your mind. And you have to start thinking like a plumber, because there was a story last week. I went to a job. They told me they had no heating, no hot water. So I got to the boiler. The boiler had a fault code on it. The boiler had two fault codes which come up. One of them, which was a plate heat exchanger, and the other one was the high limit cutout. So I was thinking, what the hell is that? So I have backup to call all the time. Most of you do not have backup to call. And if you're not sure about something, how the hell are you going to find out? You're going to use the internet. The internet is made for information, yeah? So you could always find the manual to the book, which I found on my phone. Even if the customer didn't have it, it showed me being prepared. It showed me having steps of what I need to do next. And I'm here to tell people, don't get caught out, Don't get caught out when you're going to these jobs, because it's preparing yourself for the worst and the best. They're looking at you as 999 of the plumbing. Do you get it? They look at me as 999. I'm the emergency person. So when I go to a job, yeah, I have to obviously ask questions first. How did it happen? When was it last working? And I'll just go through those procedures within myself. I'll start up, ignite the boiler, see to myself, okay, we've got a temperature coming up, but we've got no hot water. So I put my hand on the plate heat exchanger to think to myself, okay, combi boiler, there's no hot water passing through it, but we're getting a temperature of, like, I don't know, let's say we've put the hot water temperature to come out as 40 degrees. And it doesn't feel like 40 degrees and it goes back into a fault. Now I need to do some fault finding. Do you get it? So these are always skills which no one will kind of tell you, man. You kind of like have to work a lot of these things out. But if you go out on call outs with people, be a sponge, be a person who learns, be a person who asks questions. Just know that a lot of us know how to hide this whole I don't know what to do situation with confidence and competence of being on the job, right? You have a little script what you go through verbatim with what I'm going to do next, how I do it, and what should follow that, because that way you've got like a thing to check. And really, you should just have a checklist. That's the truth. Yeah. Have a checklist, boys and girls, because having this checklist will prepare yourself for when you go into most scenarios on what you should be checking, making sure you've took some pictures, some videos, just in case you need to back up any evidence or anything that you saw physically, which someone else probably didn't see. And it just prepares you and allows you to look a lot more professional than what you do by pressing some buttons or looking about and saying, oh, I'm not sure what to do. Everybody does that. And if you've got someone to be able to call, someone like a mentor who I've spoke about before, if you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely go back and check out my last live, which was about OG plumbers. Yeah, the OG plumbers will teach you so much within this industry. They will kind of show you what to do. I've not really met any OG who I class as a person of knowledge who has not passed on that knowledge to me. So that's why I jump on the internet and I tell people about it. I tell people that don't be scared at that first job, because you're not going to know what to do. They don't expect you to know what to do, but you've got to work it out for yourself if you want to continue within this industry. This industry is very cutthroat, If people or a customer look at you and say, you don't know what you're doing, I don't think he knows what he's doing. That's not where you want to be, peeps. You want to be on the side of this person's checked the relative things. They're now on the internet and now finding out relative other information, what they need. I'll give you another one. This is what happened last week as well. So I went to I can't tell you where I went because it's you lot in my business. I went to a job and basically they had a few problems there. They had a leak, but I realized they had another leak on the mains and another leak on the stack. And they also had a thermostat, which was just not programmed in. So someone installed it, but didn't set up the program for it to be able to come on and turn off at certain points. I made sure I stayed there and found out the relative information which I needed. Weirdly enough, I'll tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth on my channel. That's why you should always subscribe, like, and share. Where's my thing? Hold on. Yeah, like and share, man. Because if I see you lot not liked and shared, it's a problem. Okay, we're gonna carry on. Should have done that at the beginning, but we've done it now. Right. So what I would say is make sure that you be due diligent, take those pictures, go through every bit what you need to go through to make yourself feel comfortable, right? I'll get to the question in a second. Big shout out to everybody joining the chat because I appreciate the questions. I'll always answer the questions after I deliver the conversation. You feel me? So, right. They needed to have this thermostat set up and programmed. So I asked the times when they would like it to go on, times when they would like it to go off. Yeah, that's the most important information. I was actually able to find this tutorial through YouTube, guys. Exactly the same thing you're watching us on is what I found out how to work this programmer. And have I ever come across this programmer before? This one in particular? No, because I don't come across everything. That's it. But if you tell the customer, oh, I've never seen this before, I'm not sure what to do, they're going to be like, mate, I just think you're not the right person for the job. And then you've kind of done yourself out when you could just give yourself 5 or 10 minutes to be able to prepare. Some people go to the van. They say, oh, I just need to go and get a tool. They're gone for 3-4 minutes. But what they're doing, they're researching it up. They're finding out relative questions. They're asking their other pairs, how do I fix this? Yeah. Do not be fooled by everybody. Yeah. Everybody shouldn't be able to pull the wool over your eyes. Business and understanding what to do when you get to those call out jobs, yeah, are the times when you're going to make the most bloody money because call outs cost a lot. Right. Let's get to this first question. Simple. Keep simple doing plumbing. 1 second. I'm simply doing just plumbing, no gas. From YouTube, I've made one. So someone says from YouTube, I've made 15K this month. No need to spend that time on a course or school unless you're doing your gas. It's simple. I don't know about that, my boy. And the reason why I say I don't know about that is because you pick up and you could watch people who make mistakes. And how are you to verify their mistakes if you don't know how the syllabus teaches us plumbing? That's one thing I would say. They said that they've made 15K this month from YouTube. Again, I don't know what area you're in, but hey, bring me, man. 15K is a lot of money to be making for a month, and you're not gas qualified. Are you qualified? Oh, you said you signed up to Trekker Trade. Trekker Trade is, to me, it's a con. I ain't signing up to anywhere where I've got to pay some type of premium for you to promote my services. Trekker Trader promote the most people who pay the most. I'm not interested in getting business through there or leads and stuff like that. That's not my way of doing plumbing. I've done plumbing for 22 years. I've never done that. I've seen companies and businesses who have worked through Trekker Trade. At any point, Trekker Trade can ruin your business or pull you off the platform. I've done 200 jobs. Keep it to taps and toilets and sinks and wash hand basins and leaks. Kudos, my guy. What's your DP picture? Why is it a car? I'm not pulling you out or nothing, but that's cool, man. You know, like, look, there's work all over, but Trekker Trader take a percentage of your work and take a percentage of you actually putting it into them. That's not what type of business I am. I do direct business with clients and customers, and quite big ones as well. And I'm not trying to say you can't win from that, but I've got a mate that does the same similar thing. But you're relying on a platform for stability within a business when they could pull you from that platform at any point. Just saying, I'm just saying they can pull you from the platform at any point. And again, you just have to keep paying in and looking at leads and stuff like that. That's not what type of plumber I am. I'm a bit old school, geez. You know what I mean? I've got a number, I've got platforms, I've got a business Google page for people to be able to reach out to me. They can see my reviews. Did you say you do like 200 jobs, what, per month or something? Because that's mad. You must, that's mad if you do 200 jobs a month. But hey, look, everyone's different. Like I'm going to tell you this, and other people are going to tell you that, oh, you can make shitloads of money and blah, 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 blah. That's a good point, but they are very stable. They never have pulled someone. You don't know if they've never pulled someone. They pull people for doing bad jobs and they get sued. It happens. I know because I've met many of people who have went through Trekker Trader and not been happy with the quality of work. Neither were they cool with it. 200 jobs per what? Is that per day or is that per what? This ain't a. I just want to answer the questions because I appreciate this person coming in. 200 jobs per what? Per month or what? Sorry, I'm talking to this guy while I'm trying to do this video as well. But look, guys, look, at the end of the day, yeah, when you go to a job, yeah, an emergency job, it's a representation of you and what you do. So the standards, how you keep your work, yeah, and how you operate is very important for you and your development and how people see your company growth. I'm not going to rely on my company growth through just one platform because again, when that platform goes down, I don't have no money coming in. Repeat customers within plumbing is very slim because you got to build this company or business rapport between you and that person. Me building a rapport between me and that person happens on the standard of work, what I do. And if I'm churning out loads and loads of work, you can't maintain that level of standard. So I maintain a level which works for myself. Tap swaps. So you're doing how many tap swaps a day? Because look, I never like to get onto people when I feel like something's bullshit, yeah. But I'm sorry, there are 30 days within this month, yeah, and you're saying you're doing 200 jobs, yeah, and the tap swaps, 200 divided by 30. 1 second. This is how you know this is a little bit of BS. Hold on. So you're doing like what? How many jobs a day? No, I didn't say I do. I'm saying I do them for £200 per job, bro. All right, cool. Because I was on you there, innit? Because that didn't make much sense what you're saying. Look, your rate is your rate, innit? Is everybody going to pay £200 to have their tap swapped within a space of time? You're doing five a day. Look, man, I've been a plumber a long time, innit? That's not often that people get that, period. So you might just be a lucky person, but I don't feel that everybody reaches that. Because, most household people are not willing to pay £200 to have a tap swapped, whether it's broken or not. Because generally, their tap costs under £200. Yeah, you're very right. Call me back. Yeah, you're right. Because I get callbacks. Because I don't get any callbacks. Well, plumbing is about having a sustainable business, which is repeatable business. And you're not going to get repeatable business when you charge people high amounts of money. Doing call outs, which is fair, emergency call outs, which is a fair rate. It allows people to think to themselves, you know what, that person, they charge me a decent rate. I would recommend them, I would only use them in a place of emergency. And me having a business for this long, I just look at things a little bit differently to others, innit? I say kudos to other people who are getting it like that, innit? There are a lot of people and a lot of plumbers that will always tell me they earn X or they earn this or that. 15K is a lot of money to earn a month. Some people have told me that they do that before. But again, simple, I'll tell you a story, yeah? I know a plumber who used to work for Pimlico Plumbers, and he says he's got his own company set up. He makes a lot of money on call outs. He's saying that he makes roughly, I don't know, like 5 to 10 grand a month, yeah? So this guy had his tools stolen, yeah? And if you're making 5 to 10 grand a month, yeah, guess what you wouldn't do? You wouldn't complain about having your tools stolen. You'd get on it because you realize that you could replace that and get that money back. And what was he doing? Moaning about his tools. Again, I'm an adult, guys, yeah? I don't believe in nonsense and stuff which I don't see within my face, innit? And I rarely see people making that 15 bags. I've made 10 a month, yeah, which I don't really want to talk about. But me making that 10 was a lot of work. I mean, hands down, every day working. I was working like 12 hours a day. I wouldn't recommend that to anyone because you burn yourself out, innit? And in saying that you give a service which is across the board of a certain standard is very hard to keep, innit? And that's what people want. People want to see you give a service, yeah, which doesn't break any standards. You keep the same quality of standards. You can't always guarantee that when you do so many works. Like, every tap is different. Some taps need to be commissioned properly. Some taps also need to be registered as well because they have a 5-year warranty. So you need to be a little bit more specific in what you say. But look, I'm happy that you're making the money, my boy. And that's what it's about. But I just don't push a super false narrative for our younger generation because a lot of younger plumbers watch me. A lot of people who have seen me be their lecturer because I've been a lecturer for over 9 years, and I've taught definitely over 1,000 plumbers in and around London. So I don't give them a facade of making 15 grand a year or even saying that they make those types of monies because, again, when I do come across other tradespeople who say they earn this much and da-da-da-da, when something happens, like their van gets broken into, like their tools get stolen or something like that, they're not the fastest people to go out and spend. But if you was making money, you would spend anyway. So make it make sense. Do you get it? That's why I talk from the part where I'm at. Just all saying that all plumbers, I'm just saying all plumbers start, what? Just saying that is. Look, I'm a plumber, yeah. I don't do gas work. I work with gas engineers. My uncle is a gas engineer. And again, like, how much people make more money, that's all down to the individual. People charge the rate what they can always get away with. Some of us cannot charge high rates. Some of us think that we're worth more money than what we are. It's just a fact, bro. I don't need to lie about that. Like, I've been a plumber a very long time, So I understand that people definitely do make more money than others, but it matters with the area you're in. It matters what you're costing. It matters what your experience is. And it matters who your bloody customer is, because your customer might not even pay that at the end of the day. And that is all down to subject of service, how they see yourself, representation, and who the hell they come through. Do you get it? Like, it's nice to set a set wage and say that I charge £200 to do taps, but I'll tell you something. I met a handyman company one time over in a Fulham area, and they had someone who was fitting taps, and they were charging 180 quid to fit taps. Might as well call it £300, best part. And all it takes is a good plumber like me to come along and start undercutting that just by 40 quid or something. And I could do way more because I am a plumber. And none of those people were qualified plumbers. I'll tell you that from now. None of those people were qualified in anything, actually, funny enough. But they just had a handyman company. And the handyman company used to get jobs, or they signed up to Trekker Trader. And Trekker Trader used to send them the jobs. So we've all got to make it make sense when it comes to business, innit? Like I said, sometimes it will work better for some people, sometimes it will work worse for some people. But the narrative or the conversation is that you're kind of like getting that at the moment. It doesn't mean that everybody will get that, and it doesn't mean that there is a continuous time of that. Because my only next question to the person in the chat was, he was like, facts. I always charge people proceeding to the customers. See, so you got to charge accordingly to the customers, isn't it? Because openly, if someone says that they haven't got £200 to get their tap replaced, they're gonna find someone elsewhere, in it. So you definitely do lose some jobs. But my thing is just, maybe I'm not with the time or something. I'm not really sure, but I'm just not on building my business and around the platform which could kick you off or which you don't have control of. Because at the end of the day, when people start seeing you make a lot of money, they might put up the premiums. I'm not willing to pay £400, £500 out to get jobs or to get leads. I've never been on Trekker Trader. I've never been on My Builder. I've never built on any of those types of things. I have a solid base of 10,100 followers on Instagram, going strong, and 10,000 people on TikTok. So again, you can get eyes and ears on you for what you do by showing showcasing what you do and showing your ability to be able to be successful at your pass rates of your jobs, right? So let's say my completion of all jobs are at 99%. And that's how I keep it. And that's the best way for me to promote myself, is I go back to any job what customer's not happy with. I try and do my best to adhere to them. I try and let them understand what it is, what we need to do and why we need to do that and how much the price is. Again, people's prices fluctuate up and down. It's due to the areas and it's due to the customers being able to pay out the amount. Honestly, I'm with you, but take me off. That's why I've had the third account and 3 years of making this show. So the person said they've got 4 years of experience, which is fine. And look, 4 years of experience and you feel comfortable to go out and do that, that's cool. But is it sustainable? Do you get it? Like, we're talking about sustainability when it comes to plumbing and careers, innit? I have a 22-year career and I've seen a lot, I have seen a lot. And it's hard for people to become established within this business when they don't give a quality of their service through the board. If you do so many jobs, you can't say that you guarantee quality. And that's what people want to see. Checker Trader took me off 2 times already. See? Checker Trader took you off 2 times already. That's what I mean. That's why I wouldn't build my business around any of these people. Like, I build my business around communities who I know are solid. I go into affluent areas, and the third time I've been on for 4 years, but I'm making sure that I do good jobs. See, someone could pull you because you went into a job and you wasn't thorough, you wasn't due diligent, you didn't speak to them the way they wanted you to speak to them, and that is like pulling on your strings of your business and allowing your business to go up or go down, because they could take you off their platform at any point. I own the platform of promoting me. I'm not owned by someone else. Recommendation and reviews are very important to my business, obviously. So that's why I don't be jumping on any of them things. Again, I've worked for something what was similar, very similar to Trekker Trader to get jobs, yeah. And when I was earning a high amount of money, yeah, they didn't like it. That's the truth. They were in a super affluent area. The jobs were super easy. But what I was doing, I was beast moding the whole thing, making more money than what they really wanted. I was making over £800 a day, and I was still going home by about 2 o'clock. Oh, are you about for any other work? No, I'm not. I'm finished. They always say this, but but it's not for to build a business. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Because look, you see, when I say some of these things, yeah, I don't say it because someone's in the comment section getting at me or talking to me. Because you see, is it Lewis? I appreciate these types of people being in the content and being part of what I'm doing right now, because I've got no script to what I'm saying. So by bouncing off of his questions, make my videos better, but also allow me to think, yeah, man, someone's in tune, man. You understand what I mean, innit? So you heard me say it before, innit? I wouldn't make a business off a platform like that, because again, someone pulling you away from your money and pulling you like you don't have constant money is not how you run a business. Because again, you got bills, you got overheads, you got costs, you got these types of things. Like every day when you're not working, yeah, it's eating away at your money. And again, if they don't want you on the platform because it's maybe you went to a customer's house and they didn't like the way you spoke to them or something like that, you know, like it could be a misunderstanding. The person could be half a little bit deaf. They didn't hear you say goodbye. They didn't hear you say this or that, or you didn't explain that in the way they liked it. We all can't be liked by everybody when we go in their property. There's always going to be someone. I've had some of the worst and some of the best customers, you know, so I kind of like get it on both sides at the end of the day. And I've realized that you can't please everyone. You cannot please everyone when you go into everyone's property. As much as you be due diligent, as much as you be safe, as much as you wear your shoe protectors, as much as you turn around and you give your delivery before you leave the job, they might be like, oh, well, you was only here 15 minutes and now I've got to pay you 200 quid. Oh, it's a bit a lot, don't you think? What are you going to say? You know, I've done jobs for single mums, old people, and I've realized this person, they might be a white lady, but she reminds me of my nan. I can't charge her out of the sky. What I'm going to do is I'm only going to charge her for 1 hour when I was here for 2, and I'm going to give her the parts for free as well. Because I would like someone to do that to my nan. That's why. So I treat people how I want it to be treated, you know. That's why I move out of respect. And when I've asked people for a favor, whether it's like, oh, I'm not going to charge you the full amount, I'm just going to charge you this, but is it possible for you to be able to write a review on my business page? That's all I'm asking you to do. If you can do that for me, I can waive this part of the bill straight up, because I want to waive some money, because I know that you're an elderly person and I'm thankful that you've contacted me. And again, I can see that you was in a place of distress and we've got it sorted for you. And I just want to move forward and I want you to feel happy after we've had this interaction between me and you. And I often do that with people, man, because people are people. I'm a person before I'm a plumber, you know. I have understanding of how people feel when they are in a place of like panic or like, oh, I need this done. And I'm the person, I'm the superhero to turn up for the job. So I don't treat people like they're not people. And that might be why I'm not making 15 bags. But again, I'm kind of really happy with myself, because I know that those people will recommend me to their family members, to their work colleagues, to their cousins, to their people on their road. They'll be like, do you know what? I've got a really good plumber. His name's Mr. London Plumber. Funny enough, blah, 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 blah. Check him out. He done me a good price for this. And that just builds my community without me even trying to do that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, you're a better person. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro, man. You're a good person as well, because again, my views are subjective to my experience. Your views on how you feel charging, rates, money, how you deal with customers are subjective to your experience within the industry. My experience within the industry is different. I'm old school. When I first started doing plumbing, I'm carrying a bucket. You lot are not even carrying buckets. This was back in what? Yeah, a while ago. So you get it? You lot probably got fancy bags and all that. I got nice bags. I got 9 plumbing bags. But to make money, I've always got a guy using one of them, innit? And the tools as well, they cost you a lot of money as well. So my experience as well pays off at the end of the day. I feel that sometimes we overlook that as individuals. That whole side of it, it needs to be taken into consideration. And I say that if you could be nice to someone, do something nice for someone else, they'll always remember you in that type of way, man. It is about making money, but the whole narrative of doing something nice for people when you're on the job, if you can do it, trust me, it makes you feel like a better person, but you also build a better rapport with your clients and your customers, yeah? Because at the end of the day, you're the superhero. You're the person that's supposed to turn the plumbing off, turn the water off, find the leak, fix the leak, make sure it's all hunky-dory, give them the thumbs up and give them a bill at the end of the day, innit? I just don't believe in tearing the arse out of the normal person. We're all normal people. We've got bills to pay. I get it. I understand it. But if you look at the generic amount of taps which are out there in the industry, most of them are underneath £100. Do you get it? So I've actually fitted and installed taps which are worth £2,000. The brand is Waterbrush. It's a tap brand which is situated on King's Road, yeah? And they make showers for like £25,000. You could understand if I've charged someone like £1,000 to fit it now, innit? Because I look at some of them things as like, oh, let's half the price of what it's worth to install it. So if the tap is £2,000, £2,500, that's how much the cheapest taps are there. I'm actually going to charge them like accordingly, you know. He's busted up now. Sorry, I'm going to charge them accordingly, innit? So it might be like £1,000 or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And £1,000 to fit in a tap for a day. It's a good day's work for me. I can go to the cafe and go home, go and get lunch and go home and have an easy day and try to approach my next customer in the same manner as them. At the end of the day, build your business how you need to, people. But my advice is sometimes don't build it off the back of these platforms which can kick you off and on and disrupt your trajectory in getting somewhere in building a business. Because it's hard enough as it is in London. It's hard enough as it is to build trust with people and genuine people, and obviously get people to come back as repeat business. More time, people are coming back for repeat business because of your the way you carry yourself. You know, I'm a very presentable person. Like I like to be correct with people. I give people time to talk, because when someone's explaining something to me when I'm on the job, yeah, they're not a plumber, they're not a tradesperson. So they're going to explain it in their layman ways, and I'm going to have to work it out, debunk it, and obviously give them an answer at some point. So I don't try to rush them with it. I don't try to talk over them neither. And I just try to let them know, all right, give me a few minutes. I'll have a look at what I'm looking at. Then I'll get back to you if I need you. But let me see if I can kind of find out what the problem is and diagnose it and just get back to you. Because you do need a bit of time when you're on a job, anytime when you go to any job, you know. And it's perfectly normal to be able to go to a job as a tradesperson that hasn't had a lot of experience and be worried about what to do. We've all been worried about what to do and not knowing what to do. That's the truth. But it's how you show that, innit? So have your tick list, what to do, and be prepared, innit? And again, today we've got some knowledge in the chat today from someone who is actually making a lot of money from plumbing, which is showing that our industry is actually growing. And if anybody else wants to fit taps for £160, they can make a little bit more money than my man in the chat here. I'm only messing with you, bro. I'm only messing with you. He's doing well, man. He's doing very well. I appreciate everyone who's doing well. I just want to make sure you're subscribed to my channel, you're liked and you're shared, because this was about plumbing stories, what disasters and horrors. You know, like I've had a few of them, but we look on the bright side. You learn from all of these mistakes, you know. That's one thing I have learned about being in this industry, is that you've not seen everything. And that's the thing. Like, I've seen new stuff after 20 years. I've seen stuff I've never seen before. And I've been openly to be like, boy, how do I work this out? Go on the internet, I find stuff out. I might go on ChatGPT, I might ask this, I might ask that. It brings me to my conclusion of understanding more of what I'm doing and thinking with a plumbing head and not going into these situations with the normal air bubble head, which most people have got. Big reminder, like, share and subscribe, guys. Next upload is coming very soon. I've sorted out my monetization on my channel. So I'm going to be blasting you with content which I've made, which I want to put up and get out there. Appreciate everyone for coming on the chat today. Wrapping this one up with hero stories and stuff like that. And look, you've got to be the plumbing hero when you turn up for jobs, because they're looking at you as the last person, as port of cause, to be able to do the jobs. So make sure you have your tick list ready before you go to jobs, so you're ready yourself. You know that people are going to ask you questions like, oh, so what temperature should the tap be? Oh, so when this happens, what does this mean? So just have a good understanding about what you're talking about, innit? Because the average Londoner can smell bullshit in your breath. I'm out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next upload, guys and girls. Let's get it.